What can I do for you?
Given the changes that you had talked about seeing in Megan from last year, or the end of last season to now, did you kind of expect this kind of performance from her, where she just got the overall game going right away?
Yeah, I mean, I think the games kind of tend to go a certain way, you know, and this game kind of lends itself to a lot of easy shots, you know, and there were a lot of different kind of shots, a lot from different spots on the floor, which was really good. But, you know, Megan's practices have been different than they were last year, so I would expect her game to be different. You know, we talk all the time about the 40 points that we used to start every game with last year that now we don't have, and they were going to have to come from somewhere. And obviously, you know, she's taken a big interest in that, making sure that, you know, we fill that void somehow. But I think there's a lot that Megan's going to be able to do going forward, even more so than today, I think.
Talked about how Anna plays, you know, older than a freshman. Did you like her, you know, aggressiveness today? And how do you think she handled herself?
Yeah, there's always like a little nervousness going into every game. But when it's your first game in a different country, you know, I'm sure there was a little more nerves than normal. And she's kind of hard on herself, you know, so when she missed her first 2 or 3, I knew she was missing the next 23, because that's how she is, you know. She gets really mad at herself. She gets really angry. You know, you watch her and you know that she can do certain things, and she knows what she's doing out there, and you know, and we desperately need another guard out there, another kid that can make shots and handle the ball and make plays for other people. So she's not happy because she didn't shoot the ball great, but.
Is that why you decided to start her, Geno? Like, you saw that she could?
Nah, I mean, I think based on our practices, I mean, I think she deserved it more so than anyone else. You know, we need another scorer out there. I think, you know, the way we are defensively, we need as many scorers as we can get out on the court. You know, it's not going to be pretty.
Is it impossible to gauge anything defensively off a game like this, given the opponent?
You can a couple things. You know, there were some things that we did that were pretty good, and there was a bunch of things that we did that are going to have to be fixed. You know, and we knew going into the season that we can't be a good defensive team. It's not possible. I mean, it's just not. So we're going to have to get, as I said, we're going to have to get a little bit creative. But we don't have the pieces to be a really good defensive team this year. I think we need to get better, but I don't know that we'll ever reach where we're a great defensive team. I've had some of those. This ain't one of them.
Well, a great defensive player today was Olivia, who had 5 blocks and 4 steals. What's at least her presence do for even a struggling defense as you have them going forward?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. When your big guy has to block a lot of shots, that means a lot of guys got beat. So it's good to have her back there because she's long enough that she can affect shots, you know, and she's gotten a lot better at knowing when to and how to. So now we don't want to put her in that situation, you know, 30 times a game where she has to, you know, save us from a layup. So if we get a little bit better at keeping guys out of the lane, then the few times they get in there, I think she'll be, you know, and it's going to be unbelievably important for us to keep her out of foul trouble. You know? So yeah, I would probably say Liv is probably the most important player on our team right now. She's the only one that you can't replace, no matter what. The other guys are hard to replace, but she's impossible to replace.
Well, Aubrey wasn't tremendously productive. She showed signs that if she can maybe slow down a little bit
Yeah.
mentally and continue to play as hard as she does, she could be pretty good. You see encouraging things from her?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what she did, and what she did in the game today, she missed a couple of easy shots that she makes all the time in practice, but she goes after rebounds, and that's a skill that you can't teach. You know, she has a knack for the ball, and you know, early on, they were all hers. You know, I miss, I rebound, I score. You know, I miss, I rebound, and score. You know, so she's only going to get better and better when she knows what she's doing. Like right now, she's not really sure what to do out there. So there's the ball, go get it. She is like a little puppy. Just throw it out there and go get it.
You know, there have been years where we could use a pen right now to fill out a Final Four, and that would be pretty accurate. This year, there's programs that are down a little bit, other programs that are rising.
Yeah.
How do you assess that, and what does it mean for your club?
Yeah, each year, you know, I don't want to become, well, I shouldn't say, we were accused for a number of years of it being the same teams all the time, you know. We were on the verge of becoming college football, you know. So it's good that there's new faces up there. Now, did a lot of those faces show up because the people that were already there backed up, or because they got really, really good? I think it was a combination of the two. But that's usually what has to happen, you know? So the fact that you can't just sit here right now and go, here's the Final Four, I think that's a good thing. You know, and I think it helps keep interest around the country. I think it reminds everybody, hey, this is not given, it's not guaranteed, no one's entitled to this. You know, you have to earn it. And for us to go to 12 straight Final Fours, people are starting to think, you know, when they put the schedule, you know, senior night, conference tournament, Final Four, parade. Not exactly how you're supposed to do it, but reality is starting to sink in most places.
You know, did you do enough things today to give you hope, like?
For what?
For the, you know, for not to cancel the program?
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, we did enough things so that I have to come back and practice tomorrow. Yes.
Kristen was pretty smooth, and Megan was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
They're pretty athletic. They
Yeah.
made some stuff.
Yeah, no,
happen.
we have some players on our team. We have some pieces that, when it's working, it works pretty well. It looks good. It just doesn't look like it's fluid right now. There's a lot of like out there, but it's only the first day, you know. We'll hopefully be a little bit better Wednesday, and then we have to be a lot better next Sunday. But that's why you play these games.
Crystal only had 5 shots today.
She only wanted to take 5. You know, it's interesting when I watched her play today. It was like she really wasn't interested in shooting the ball. She wasn't interested in scoring. It's almost she made more of an effort to get everybody else involved, and I think that's a great thing, especially in today's world where kids, you know, their whole being, their whole identity is in how many points they score. You know, she could have taken as many shots as she wanted. I think she passed up a bunch. I think Kristen's going to have the kind of year where when we need her to get a lot, she's going to get a lot. And when we don't, I think she's going to be content to make sure that everybody's involved in the game.
Geno, you were pretty pointed in your comments about Avina the other day, and I was wondering if you've gotten much feedback about it, and what you want folks to maybe think about between now and the time that appeal decision is made?
You know, I don't spend a lot of time, you know, checking what's out there anymore. I think both Dave Benedict and I said what I think we felt and we needed to say. You know, my disappointment, you know, was for Avina and for the process and the way it unfolds. We've had kids transfer from Connecticut, and the way the process works, for those of you that are not familiar with it, a player will ask for a transfer waiver, and the player will have to give a statement as to why they left. And then the school administrator, where the student athlete is leaving from, writes a letter, and in that letter, they can either support the athlete and say, I think it's great for this kid that she be at another place and I support it. They can not support it and be negative, or they can have no comment and just be non-committal. I'm not for it, I'm not against it. Those are the three choices you have as an administrator. And Tennessee took the path of, I have no comment on it, I have no position on it. I'm not supporting it, I'm not anti, which kind of hurt us, to be honest with you. Because if they had come out strongly and supported it, then Avina would have got cleared. Which is kind of funny, because today, there's a release that the athletic director at Tennessee put out a statement being incredulous that one of the kids that wants to transfer to Tennessee wasn't granted a waiver.
Okay.
And he's adamant, you know, he's just absolutely perplexed as to how they could deny that. Well, I'm glad to see that Phil and I agree that everything should be done for the welfare of the student athlete. And I think Phil supports that. Now we just need him to contact the NCAA and say, you know, I support it. And then, you know, I'm sure there'll be a different outcome when the appeal goes in. That's kind of
You know,
where we are.
bottom line, when the only student athletes who are limited are the ones in the revenue sports, how can anybody make a credible claim that this is about the athlete?
It's never about the athlete.
Well, of course it's not, but why is this not similar to what's just happened with revenue in California and then following
Yeah.
up? I mean, a field hockey player can transfer at will,
Yeah,
and that's not detrimental to them not to stay out a year.
yeah.
I mean, it makes absolutely no sense if you
I-
take the premise that they keep throwing out,
Yeah.
that it's all about the student.
I can understand, we can't have wholesale transfers. But there's wholesale transfers. So that whatever it is that's going on in the world, the bottom line is, I don't know the exact number, but I want to say it may be like 600 or 700 last year, I think on the guy's side, and even more so. And I think on our side, I don't know, it was approaching 400, 500, I don't even know, but it's pretty high, how many kids transferred. So they're either all eligible or none of them are. That's the way I feel. So you either say yes to them all, or you say no to them all. You don't get to decide who's a yes and who's a no, because that leads to a lot of other questions that we can't answer. And then it starts to lead to, you know, conspiracy theories. Why does this kid get a yes and that kid get a no? Because they're going to that school, or because they're involved in that sport. I don't know that we want to be in that business of doing anything other than what's in the best interest for the kid. Does it benefit the kid to sit out? Especially when the coach and the athletic director at the school that they're leaving goes, I got no problem with this. If something's happening that you think is not legit, then you can say, hey, I'm not in favor of this. I don't support this because this is what happened. That's fine, then do it. We've never done that. We've always supported everybody that wants to leave. Say, yeah, look, if they're not gonna play for us, I don't care where they play. Why should I punish that kid? You know, that kid wants to go play someplace else, go play someplace else. I don't have a problem with it. We've never said no to anybody that's ever wanted to leave. We've never went, no comment. We always said, yeah, go, it's okay. So for anybody to, you know, to go, well, I'm choosing not to support this student athlete, and then have it come 3 days later, I can't believe that this isn't being done for the welfare of the student athlete. So, Wednesday when we got the no, I was disappointed that Phil wasn't on our side. Now today, I'm extremely gratified that Phil is on our side. So I'm hoping it works out.
Philly question, Harry question.
Jesus.
Did you try to talk him into retirement, out of retirement, stay out of it?
I tried to talk him into retirement years ago.
Explain.
Explain. Every year, for 10 years, he would say to me, I can't do this anymore. I go, good. I don't feel like coaching against you anymore. I don't want to come down here and go through this, you know, excruciating pain of playing Villanova. I said, find something else to do. He goes, I don't know what else to do. I go, then stop complaining. So he would come every year and they would do a great job, blah, 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 blah. So to be really honest with you, he called me, when I got the voicemail, because I was at practice, and then I saw the release, I was surprised at the timing of it, but I'm not surprised that he's decided that he doesn't want to do this anymore. But I was surprised at the timing of it. And I mean, 42 years is a long time to be doing something. You know,
I think he's 80, but he's not.
he's younger than me. I mean, I know. Looks can be deceiving, but in this case, they're not. But, or actually, in this case, they are. Yeah. Now he's got to go back to his full-time job of Stemper and House of Cards and doing hair commercials. I don't know the guy's name, but he's a dead ringer for that guy. We're going to miss him, though. People in Philly are going to miss him. People in Philly are going to miss him. And, you know, it's ironic that we're going into the Big East next year and he's leaving, and he's a legendary figure in the coaching world. And in his mind, but he's a legendary figure. Both of those things are true. Both of those things are true. But I know he's been struggling, you know, health-wise with a couple of things that have been bothering him off and on. And, you know, so I'm happy that he's gonna not have to deal with he puts a lot of pressure on himself. He's one of these guys that, you know, he takes it very seriously, takes everything to heart. Every game still means the world to him. Every game, every play, every practice, everything. He carries that weight around with him every minute of every day. It takes its toll, you know. But
Thanks.
Can you,
I could review someday.
are you able to get into why Batuli wasn't available to play today?
Batuli is having surgery tomorrow. What's today?
Today's Sunday.
You're the SID person. You're supposed to know this stuff. I want to say either tomorrow or the next day, because the same knee that's been bothering her for a long time. I don't know whether she landed on it or tweaked it the other day, but she's gonna have to get some cleaning done in there, and I don't know how long she'll be out, which it's not ideal for us because we already don't have enough bodies, but she just physically couldn't practice.
Anything else?
Behind Stewie and Kalina there, did they get a chance to talk to the team and, you know, see some important?
Yeah. I don't think the players on our teams usually like when the former players show up, because I just keep reminding them that if you were that good, I wouldn't have any issues. But what ends up happening is the players that come back, and in Kalina's case, well, still we can't play, but she can work out. So we did a workout yesterday, her and I. And it's funny, some of the kids that were watching were just staring because there was a 4-minute shooting drill that she did with the team, and she's the only one that didn't miss a shot in the entire drill. And kids are just like mesmerized, like, how does she do that? And when Kalina was playing, she just was bullying everybody. Like, people were just bouncing off of her, and there were a couple of times when she may be the only player in the country that could have got that shot off and got it off and made it. And it gave me an opportunity to say, there are guys who think they're really great three-point shooters, and then there are great three-point shooters. That's what a great three-point shooter looks like. So you guys should pay attention.
Kalina didn't miss a shot?
Stewie didn't miss one in the drill. Kalina, I usually give them a number that they have to make as a team, and usually the number's in 80 something, and I said, are you two guys shooting? They said, yeah. I said, okay, so the number today is 90. And Kay didn't make one the first minute. It's pissed me off. When I expect something from them, they don't do it.
And
Stewie made everything. Stewie doesn't miss shots. Stewie doesn't miss any shots. So it's good to have them around. It's good, you know, for them to talk to a couple of players. It was really good. I've forgotten, you know, just how talented some of these kids were that played here over the years, and how many of them were all on the same team. You forget that Kalina and Stewie were on the same team, and they were on the same team with Stephanie, and they were on the same team with Kelly Farris and Bria Hartley and Tuck and Mariah.
Seems like a long time ago.
It seems like a long time ago.